Open the door with one hand. Yep, there we go. You can see the door opens all the way. You know what I'm saying? No hiccups, no rubbing, no touching, nothing. You can see the gappage between the door and the fender are really, really good, spot on. Door shuts, we're good to go. What's good, grind schoolers? It's your boy Rob, and we back in the shop today. So today, what we got going is we are gonna align the doors and finally put the fenders on the car. I already put the bumper on the car. I gotta sand that down so that we can clear or flow coat it. But I gotta get the doors aligned so that I can put the fenders on so that I can paint the whole car together, because I'm gonna clear the whole entire car together. Again, one fender needs to be resprayed. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cover up the entire car, make sure everything is sealed up really, really well. And I'm gonna spray that fender and fix all my imperfections at the same time. And then we're gonna have to let that set up for about a week before we can cut that down and flow coat the whole entire car. So, but I'm gonna align the doors, and one of my subscribers requested this video showing how I align everything. So we might, well, we can't even do the trunk yet, but we'll do the doors so that I can get the fenders on. And then one of the wheel wells is messed up, so I gotta fix that. But I'll probably attach those, and yeah, man. So we'll see how far we get, but for now, I just wanna make sure that everything is aligned, make sure the doors open and close really well. And yeah, we'll see. Not quite a full car because we still need the nose and the hood and stuff like that, but more of a full car. So I'm gonna flip this camera around. I'm gonna show y'all what I got. I'm gonna show y'all the bumper back on the car, and then, yeah, man. But before we jump into the video, go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Yeah, let's get to it. All right, y'all. So the car's coming together. Real nice, real smooth. I still gotta go back through it, get all the spots that I missed with sanding it, but I started putting the car back together. As you can see, the bumper's on. I still gotta sand it down, get the clear coat off of it, and make sure that we're all good, cold fold there. But yeah, man, everything is coming together so nicely. And all these imperfections that I have, you know, they're shaping up. They're shaping up really well, and I'm starting to get even more and more happy, man. We're almost to the point where we could put the windows back in, take the tape off of and the paper off of the back window, put the trim on. I'm not, well, actually, no, not put the trim on, because I'm gonna cut and buff it before I put the trim and everything on. But after that, we're good. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm gonna cut and buff before I put the windows and all that kind of stuff in is because it's a lot easier to do that instead of like taping everything up and relying on that to, you know, whatever. So on the Elko, you can see areas like that. Let me move out the way. Areas like that where I got compound on and I never went back and got off of the handle. So, and I even taped up the door handle and all that kind of stuff, but you know, I don't want that to happen with this. I want to, you know, I don't want to do extra work, taping stuff up and all that kind of stuff and risking getting stuff everywhere. So anyways, we're also going to lay the stripes down. Or finally got the right size stripe that I need. So we got we got 3 levels of stripes, you know what I'm saying? So we got a 1/4 inch, I think this is a 1/2 inch, and this is 3/4 of an inch. That's what we're gonna run with, so it is what it is. But right now I got this door is kind of loose right now. I got the popsicle sticks in the door, and I think it's about 3 of them that I need in order to, you know what I'm saying, get it aligned. Now it looks aligned right here, but down here it kind of gets a little bit skinnier, so I got to pull the door forward a little bit, and then I'm gonna lock it down. Let me see. Let me think here. I don't know exactly how. I think that's about all right. I might use the Impala for reference. I use the Elko for reference a little bit, but the Elko still is not 100% aligned. But I think that's about what I want right there. I think if I go 2 popsicle sticks, it's gonna be a little bit too small. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this down to, so that they don't like fall out, but I'm gonna tape this down, and then I think I'll stick 1 popsicle stick in the bottom, just so that I'm not like chipping up the rocker or whatever. And then I don't know if you could tell, but the door is like inside the frame right here, but then it like kind of protrudes outward over there. So I gotta push the door, adjust the door so that it's level. And then up here, there's a huge gap here. So I gotta push it in at the bottom, and then make sure that we have good spacing back here. So I'm gonna try to jimmy a couple popsicle sticks in there, and then we'll lock everything down, and then we'll open and shut the door, make sure everything is good to go. And then after that, we can go ahead and put this fender on. Well, we'll put both fenders on. We'll put this fender on. Let me see, because I'm gonna have to move all of this stuff, and I'm gonna have to move the car over too. So we'll see, but I'm gonna go ahead and start working on this door. And then after I get this one aligned, then we'll start figuring out what else we gotta do. We'll align the doors, and then we'll push the car over, move it over. And then, excuse me, we'll go ahead and sand the bumper down and start laying the stripes, man. I already washed the car off. I'll probably go back through and really make sure there's no dust along the bottom part. And then we'll lay the stripes down, and this car will have stripes. Everything will be aligned, the fenders will be on, and we'll just keep moving forward, man. My goal is to have this finished within the next, I'm gonna say 2 weeks, because like I said, this fender is gonna have to set up for at least a week, so I'm gonna lose a week's time. But I pretty much have everything that I need to finish this on out, and then we can just start putting everything together, man. Let it set up for another week, cut and buff it. And then after we set it up for another week, cut and buff, then I can start putting things like the mirrors on. We're gonna have to cut and buff those. Put the tail lights in. We'll re-clear those. Put the locks in, the windows in. All this stuff can come out of the car. We'll clean up the trunk. We'll put the trunk back together. We'll put all this stuff back together. We'll clean the inside, put the door panels on. Since the trim and everything back on, we'll repaint these pieces here. These are good. I think we'll put the trim around the windows. We'll paint the cowl, and yeah, man, the car will be together. It will be officially a complete car. And then after all of that's all said and done, I am going to start working on this transmission. So yeah, that's what's gonna happen. So let me set you guys up, and I'll show you guys where I'm at as far as like putting this together. And it shouldn't take me too long, but yeah, man, you never know. So let me go ahead and set y'all up, and we'll get to work. Y'all, this is proving to be a little bit more challenging than I thought. Now, luckily, the fenders are off, so I am happy there. I thought it was gonna be 3, but let me grab 2 popsicle sticks and see what it looks like. I think that looks pretty decent right there, but Yeah, about 2 of them. Yeah, it's kind of tough, man. It's kind of tough because, oh yeah, about 2 of them. Let me do about 2 of them instead of 3. I was gonna do 3, but I think 2 of them is pretty solid. Cause that looks good to me right there. Now, unfortunately, I chipped the paint down there, and which was what I was trying to avoid doing. But trying to like move this door is proving to be kind of difficult. So, anywho, I want to get this right the first time, because once the fenders go on, it's going to be very challenging trying to get that gap right. Between the, like right here, adjusting the door properly, you know what I mean? And like I said, I think that's where it should be. I thought it was gonna be 3, but I don't want the gap on the fender to be super big and then this be like whatever, but I'm trying to get this as right as possible. So let me see, because I know I measured over here with the Elco and the gap is way bigger. And granted, this could be adjusted. I did about 3 here. This has a bigger gap. Of course, the doors need to be adjusted. But with the Elco, it's a lot harder because the fenders were on the car. So you got to open up the door, try to get it right, and then close the door, see what's going down. And unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, it's just not right, you know what I mean? So it's like about 3 of them right here. And then you can see the door is not, you know, it's not right. It's just not right, and it's difficult to do it because the fenders were never off of the car. We had to do it with the fenders on the car. So this one, I'm not trying to do that, because if I get this wrong, we're gonna have the same situation with the Elco. So I don't know if it's 2 popsicle sticks or 3. That looks right to me. So, I mean, obviously it's a little thinner down here, so we got to pull the other part of the door forward a little bit. But, you know, we're trying to get, obviously, all of this in line so that there's no indentation here. The door runs seamlessly and whatever. It's kind of difficult with one person because I'm trying to guide the door and hold the door at the same time and then get it right and lock it down all at once. So, I don't know. If I can't get it, then I might have to ask for some help. But if I can get it, we'll be cold, folks. So let me see what happens, and then I'll cut y'all back on when I adjust the doors fully. Unfortunately, we got a piece of chip paint, so we're gonna have to go back and fix that. Another blemish that I gotta fix. It's not that big of a deal because we're at the stage where we can do this. This is why I'm adjusting the doors now, because on the Elco, I started adjusting the doors after everything was completed. So, yeah. So anyways, let me go ahead and start doing what I got to do to get this right, and then we'll move on. All right, y'all. So we are almost done aligning these doors. I'm going to call it a night for tonight. But this door here was pretty much spot on. I had to adjust it a little bit. I did chip the paint down there at the bottom, so I'm going to have to go back through and redo that. So there are blemish areas that I got to fix, which is not a big deal. And also on this door, there is no adjustment at all. Let me open the door real quick so I can show you guys. Hold on. So there's no adjustment on this door at all. So when we got the car and we started to tear everything down and sand everything down, we started to obviously uncover areas that were not right. And one of those areas, and we kind of knew that it was gonna happen, was this area here. It was a bunch of Bondo covering up this door striker. So what they did was, I guess it had rusted out or something like that, which is a common problem on these Gbodies. I had ordered new striker plates, and those new striker plates are like reinforcements. They didn't reinforce it, they just bondoed it, and it was real flimsy and whatever. But what they did do was they welded the striker to the body of the car. So usually with the striker, you can move it up and down, side to side, whatever, to get the perfect adjustment. And unfortunately, this one has no adjustment at all. Luckily, the door works perfectly. It is a tiny bit off, but you'll never be able to tell that it's off. And so like, I wish I could move it out just a little bit so that the door is perfect, but you know, it is what it is. It shuts perfect. Everything is good. The gappage is okay. It will never be 100% correct, unfortunately, but hey, you know, with GM, they were never 100% perfect either. You know what I mean? That's always been the gripe with GM and GM cars. Things were never like perfect. Even with, say for instance, with the Impala one side, the whole body of the car is off to one side. So one wheel well is deeper than the other. And I think the driver's side is a little bit deeper than the passenger side. And that came from the factory like that. And then also the wheels, if you don't have the extension, the extended control arms, the wheel is like pushed forward and it's not centered. So GM did that. So I don't feel too bad, but I'll show you guys what I mean. You know, the door is pretty much aligned perfectly. It has good gappage and everything. Door shuts perfect. Once I get a new striker, it should shut 100% better. The one that's on there was just to test everything out to make sure that we can line everything up and get it all nice and perfect. Like I said, you can't tell that there's anything wrong with the door closed like that. The gap looks pretty good. It's a little tiny bit deeper or wider up top there than it is down here. But like I said, I don't have any adjustment with this door pin. The body line is pretty much spot on. I guess it's a little bit lower. I guess I could, well, I guess I can't lift it up. I was gonna say I could lift it up a little bit higher, but I don't have no adjustment with that door striker. So we're gonna have to just play it as it lies with this door. And also you could tell with the depth, you can't really tell on camera, but it's a little tiny bit off. Actually, no, it's pretty much spot on. Yeah, we're pretty much spot on. I can't move the door pin up, so it just has to be like that, unfortunately. But you'll never be able to tell. You'll never be able to know. I ran a popsicle stick underneath the door. We're good to go there. And I did accidentally chip the paint at the bottom, so we're gonna have to address that. But other than that, this door is perfect. Once I get the new strikers, it should close like brand new. And then on this side, I'm having a hell of a time getting this one aligned. I may have to get help with this just to kind of like adjust it so that it's perfect. The bottom, as you can see, is a lot thinner than it is up top here. And so the bottom of the door needs to be pushed forward. And it's hard for me to do it by myself because it's hard to like push the door forward, hold it, and then lock it down with the bolts. So I'm trying to adjust it perfectly. We're almost there. We're getting closer and closer. This door pin actually has it has adjustment, so I can adjust it up and down, side to side, or whatever to get it perfect. So we're just gonna keep working on it. Like I said, I'm gonna call it a night, but I ran the popsicle stick underneath. We got good gappage underneath. The front of the door has to be pushed in a little bit, and the back of the door needs to be pushed forward a little bit so that everything aligns perfectly. And like I said, it's kind of like a puzzle, man, trying to figure out the adjustment because the door goes like this and it goes front and back and side to side, you know what I'm saying? And it just is what it is, but we're getting closer. We're getting closer. Once I align everything, then I can put the fenders on. I need to get some more clips, so I'll run to the store probably tomorrow or something and get some of these clips because this one broke and the one on the other side broke as well. So I got to get some more clips, and then after that, I could put the fenders on. I was gonna seam seal it, but I was thinking about it and I'm like, man, for what? Because this is painted and powder coated and the car's painted and powder coated. So even if water does run down there, then it shouldn't rust at all. You know what I'm saying? So there's no reason to seam seal anything. I did buy some seam sealer, but it doesn't look like I'm gonna need it for that. And what else? Once I get this door all the way aligned, we'll move on to putting the fenders on and running the stripes around the car. And then we just got a few more things to sand down and get perfect. And then we could just start getting everything together. The activator came in, so we are now ready to spray that fender, get the paint on there, and then we can start finalizing everything and getting everything done. So I just gotta keep chugging away, man, and trying to get everything done. I've been out here for like a couple hours just trying to adjust these doors, man, and I ain't gonna lie, it's difficult adjusting these doors. It's even more difficult when the fenders are on the car. So that's the reason why I didn't put them on the car. I tried it with the Elko and it's a nightmare. So, you know, I know a big gripe with Gbodies and, you know, custom cars in general is the gappage on the car, or on the, between the doors and the fenders and all that kind of stuff. I want mine to be perfect. So, or at least as close to perfect as possible. So you don't know that there's a gap between, or a messed up gap anywhere. So anyways, man, like I said, I'm gonna call it a night. We'll reconvene later. I want to conclude this video at putting the fenders and lining the fenders up, and I'll show you guys everything all together. And then, you know, we'll just keep on chugging away on this car, man, trying to get everything done. But like I said, this door has been, you know, throwing me for a loop for a couple hours now, and you know, I'm about ready to call it quits. So it's getting late, and you know, I'm ready to go kick it with the fam. So anyways, we'll reconvene tomorrow. For me, it'll be a day. For y'all, to be 2 seconds. And then once I get this door aligned, I'll go ahead and throw the fenders on, and then, you know, we'll keep it moving from there. All right, y'all. So, got the fender on. I got it pretty much aligned, almost perfect. So when you're lining the fender, and I didn't know this, and I'm just now like realizing this, is you can adjust it from the top one. So this bolt right here, this bolt here, and the bolt on the bottom to get it aligned to where you need it to go, like front or forward and backwards, you know what I'm saying? So I'll show you guys in a second. The Elko fender, it has a lot more of a gap right here, so I'll probably have to loosen that up and then push that back, lift it up a little bit. And then this bottom one, I loosened it up and I pushed the fender forward a little bit right there, and then I tightened it down. We got our gappage pretty much almost perfect right here, and then right here we gotta like just push the fender back a little bit more. So once I do that, it'll be nice and tight. Everything will be good. The gaps will be perfect. I'll run through with my popsicle sticks again, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that it's all good. So I'm doing about 2 popsicle sticks, but everything there should be copacetic. I can't finish it up because I don't have the door shims. So I think it's like 2 shims in each piece, or the top bolt and the bottom bolt inside the door. So I gotta wait to get those. I'm debating whether I should just get some and paint them or just get some new ones. I'll probably just get some new ones and figure that piece out, but I need to get the door shims in there, and then I can align this properly all the way. It's in the ballpark. It's in the ballpark, but it's not 100% perfect yet because of this top part right here. But you can see it's really close. The gappage here is almost perfect, like I told you guys and I explained to you. I can't get this all the way perfect like I need it to be because of the door. What is it called? The door striker. I can't adjust it at all. And then right here, we almost got it. So we just got to push it back just a hair, and then we're good to go. I don't want to put it all the way down just yet because I want to get those shims in there before I finish up. because when I put the doors on the Elko, I ended up chipping the paint down at the bottom because everything wasn't aligned properly. But you can see, if I could open the door with one hand, yep, there we go. You can see the door opens all the way. You know what I'm saying? No hiccups, no rubbing, no touching, nothing. You can see the gappage between the door and the fender are really, really good, spot on. Door shuts, we're good to go. So this part is, or this side is pretty much wrapped up the way I need it to be. I'm pretty much done. Now I'm about to lay the stripes. I wasn't gonna do that in this video, but I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up and put the stripes in this video, and then that will conclude this segment because I still have to sand down some more of the car. And I'm going to paint the fender. So I'll probably paint the fender in the next video, fix all my blemishes. I got that one right there where I chipped the paint. I burned through right there. I got the burn throughs right there like I showed you guys, and I got a burn through on that side, and then I got to respray the fender. So I'm gonna do all of that at the same time. I also got a burn through down at the bottom here too. I'm gonna do all of that at the same time. So I'm shooting for tomorrow. I'll probably do it tomorrow so that I can get all of that stuff done. All my imperfections I'll fix tomorrow. That way I can go ahead and work on finish sanding up the rest of the car throughout the rest of the week, get all of the shiny spots away. And then by the time that this is ready, it's hardened up, I'll sand this back down, and then I'll clear that, and I'll clear the whole car at the same time. And then I also gotta smooth out the firewall too, so I'm gonna sand that down as well. But yeah, man, we looking good. We looking good. I think I wiped the car a couple of times already, so I think I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna lay the stripes. I think I'm good to go there. And yeah, that will conclude the video. I'm having a hell of a time with this door over here, so again, I might have to call in some help with this door here. I'm super close, but for whatever reason, I can't get this pushed out that way to line it up perfectly. We're good up here, but down here it's not right. So anyways, man, I wanted to show y'all what that fender looked like on this side, man. You can kind of see the contrast finally. I know, you know, it's been such a long time since I've painted it, and you guys have seen the undersides of the fender, but you can see where I'm going with this. I think it's, man, I mean, you know, I don't know what to say, man. Like, we getting there. We getting there. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we getting closer and closer. I know it's taking a while, but, you know, again, I do got a life. And, you know, this is just in my spare time. I'm going to have to replace those bolts there because they look terrible. And everything I want replaced, I'm going to replace those ones, the inner ones, the fender ones, with some stainless steel ones. I did kind of damage the bolts here, trying to align the doors and put everything together, but you know, it is what it is. So, but we're making it work, man. We're making it work with what we got, and we're getting closer and closer, man. But I'm about to lay these stripes now, and then I gotta go get my decals as well. So I'll go do that, and then yeah, man. I mean, we're getting so close. We're getting so close to having this thing 100% done. Well, not 100% done, but the paint job 100% done. And, you know, I'm going to just keep thugging it out and get all the way to the finish line. Gaps are going to be perfect, or as perfect as possible. Everything's going to be lined up pretty good. I'm not going to touch the trunk yet because the trunk is not done. And, you know, I'm going to have to open and shut it in order to get it perfect. So I'll do that once I can hook up the battery and I can open, or not even hook up the battery. Once I could put the key lock in there, I'll line the trunk up and stuff like that. But we're looking good, man. We're in good shape. So let me go ahead and lay these stripes. I'll show you guys what it looks like, and then we'll conclude the video, man. And, you know, we'll move on to the next phase of this. All right, grind schoolers, that's going to be it for this video, man. I hope y'all enjoyed. So I was going to do the stripes in this video, but I was thinking about it, and I'm like, I don't want to draw the video out And I was laying them down and I was thinking about it, and I'm like, man, like, you know, there's actually a lot that goes into actually laying the stripes instead of just like, you know, taping them down and, you know, calling it good, especially when you are clearing over them so that, you know, you can't just walk up and peel them off. So I decided to do a separate video on that, and I didn't want to draw this video out super long. And there's some things I had to do in order to like round the corners on the stripes and to make them look right so you don't get bubbling. And then also too, like I said, I don't want to draw the video out because I know a lot of people don't watch till the end of the video or watch the whole video. And I didn't want it to get lost in the sauce. At least if somebody is watching the stripe video or whatever and they catch a glimpse of whatever I'm doing, they can kind of get an idea of how it's supposed to go. But anyways, to recap with the doors, I didn't finish up with the driver door because, you know, I need help pulling the door forward. So with the adjustment on the door, if you adjust the hinge on the door, it adjusts the door in and out. So in from the body or out from the body into the body, you could adjust the door striker. So what I did was I adjusted the door striker so that it was like I needed the door to be. And then once I was able to adjust the leveling on the door, I was able to kind of like loosen up the front of the door to get the depth that I needed. And then also you loosen up the hinge on the body of the car in order to move the door front to back to get the correct gappage. And then I was using the popsicle sticks to make sure that they were even pretty much everywhere. So that's pretty much how you adjust the doors. The fender, like I said, there's those two adjustments on the top to adjust it from front to back, and then, or the top and the bottom to adjust it front to back. And then you have the ones inside the door that adjust the fender's depth, I guess you could say. And then you put the shims where they need to go. So that's pretty much how you do it, man. And then, like I said, I use the popsicle sticks to make sure that the gaps are pretty much spot on. But yeah, it's not that difficult. It does take time. It did take me a lot of time actually, but you know, we got it done and we still got a little bit to go, but we'll fix it when we get there, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, man, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and yeah, always remember, work hard so you live free.